What's up YouTube, Jeff back again, and today still feeling a little under the weather, so I apologize for my voice, but I had a goal of making one video every day in March, and I'm going to try to keep that up. So I'm bringing you guys some more tips for the Galaxy S22, S22 Plus, and specifically today, the S22 Ultra. As always, case check, I am rocking the UAG Monarch. This is my main case, the Kevlar version. If you guys are interested, I'll drop the link below in the description if you want to pick this one up. It is pricey, but it's definitely my favorite case. Also, I'll remind you guys really quick, you can enter our March giveaway if you're interested. Yeah, you can win a flagship device, up to $500 in cash, and some other cool phones and prizes. There's daily options, so you can bookmark the link and enter daily. I'll drop the link below if you guys are interested. Today we're going to be talking camera, and I am definitely not a photography expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to tell you guys 5 tips that I use to get better photos when I'm taking them with my phone. Some of these are specific to the S22 Ultra. Other tips could be applied to pretty much any phone that you're interested in. So let's go ahead and get into it. The very first one, a couple of simple tips, but some that I've noticed that a lot of people don't really do. The first one is to clean your camera lens and also turn on the grid lines. So to clean your camera lens, I highly recommend always having a microfiber cloth. I have these really big ones. I also have some smaller versions of these as well. These come from Amazon. They're pretty cheap. Again, I'll drop the link below if you're interested. This allows you just to wipe off your camera lens before you take any important photos. Now, most of the photos I take are photos of my son or my family or outings we go on. So before I start doing a photo session when we're out and about, or I'm taking photos of him at home, I'm always wiping down the camera lens really quick. And then the other very simple tip that can help you get a lot out of your mobile photography, it's not by default on the device either. If you go into the settings in the camera, scroll down, turn on the grid lines. Turning on the grid lines just gives you a better way to kind of proportion your shot. So if you want to take a picture of something like my UAG case and, I don't know, my knife from Ridge, right? You just get a better idea of where center is on the device, and you can kind of adjust it to get the shot that you want. It just makes it a lot easier to kind of figure out and get a very centered shot. And like I said, it's something that's not done by default on the S22 in One UI 4.1. So if you turn the grid line on, you can get a little bit better photo. And of course, you know, it all depends on how good you get at using the grid lines to get those proportions. But if you use them over time, I think they can be a benefit to you. And I found them to be very useful for me as well. Maybe I'll keep that there, so we might want to look at some other things as we go. So those are the first tip. The next one is to shoot in the correct ratio at 108 megapixels, which is the maximum here on the S22 Ultra. So if you go into the camera, this should be enabled by default, I think, on most devices. I believe it is here on the default, on the unlocked S22 Ultra that I have. Up at the top, you'll see the different aspect ratios: 3.4, 108 megapixels, regular 3.4, 9:16, 1:1 in full. Now, a lot of people shoot in full, but this is not a good idea. It does not give you the best quality photos. You want to shoot in the native resolution for the camera, which is that 3.4, 108 megapixels. Give you better quality photos that just look better when you take them. And I think it's the best way to get quality shots from the S22 Ultra. Up next is macro shots. So when you take macro shots, you can get really, really close, up to around, say, 5 centimeters to take a macro shot. It's like if you have something kind of small that you're interested in getting a photo of. See, I've got a tag. I don't even know what this tag is for. You can get really, really close and then focus in on it to get some really quality macro shots from the S22 Ultra. Some people don't really go really close when they're taking macro shots. They don't go close enough, and that ends up giving you poor bokeh. It doesn't keep everything in focus that you're interested in, and it also doesn't give you the best effects that you possibly could by getting closer to your subject. Just using the regular point and shoot photo mode, getting closer can make those macros look better at the end of the day. And of course, sometimes you need to take 2 or 3 shots. This is a very simple photo here to get the best one, but that is something that you can certainly do. The next thing is, let's go in here. The next thing is utilize all the camera modes. So there's quite a few, and the one I specifically recommend that you use, of course, are all the different options you have for the lenses. The wide mode, the ultra wide. So when you're shooting, particularly, also another thing that I should mention here is when you're shooting in photo, it is a very good idea to remember that you can get these zoom modes here right on the side when you're shooting. So you can get those very simply. And then when you're shooting in regular 3.4, instead of 304-108, it will also give you the 1, the 3, the 10, and the 0.6 ultra wide there on the side. Now you can actually expand this even more. I'll go back to 304-108. That's where I like to keep my shots. You can also then scroll and get these other versions, up to 6 times zoom when you're shooting in 108 megapixels, which really I think gives you the best shot. If you want to do even more with this though, you can go to Pro mode, go over here to More, and then you can control everything about the camera. So you've got, your EV, you've got ultra wide, wide. Here's the telephoto 3, here's the telephoto 10, focus, auto, white balance, 5200. You can change all these things manually at the bottom. Now I put down some recommended settings here. ISO 50, f1.8 or f1.2. Those are some settings that, sometimes end up working great when I'm just taking regular shots of my son, things like that. Also, you can also play around with some of the other cool modes outside of Pro mode, like panorama mode. That's another one that I really enjoy playing around with. Panorama mode's right here. Let's see, what was the other one I was going to show you guys? Panorama, super slow-mo mode, and hyperlapse are also really fun to play with in the camera. So a lot of people don't go over to that More screen. Just head over there and play with some of the modes. You don't have to be a professional photographer to use this and get some really good shots. And then the last thing is to grab a portable tripod. Now, I have one that I actually use. I stupidly did not bring it over here to shoot this video, but I'll show you guys really quickly the one that I use, the Manfrotto phone tripod. It's the right here, the mobile tripod. And this is it right here, the Manfrotto Pixie Mini tripod kit with a smartphone clamp. It's only $35.94. And if you're going to be shooting photos on the go, especially videos too, which I use my phones for videos fairly often, this is a great tool to have in your arsenal for selfies, getting pictures of your kids, your pets, etc., whatever. This is a very useful thing to have and carry around. And at only $35, it's a great deal. Again, I'll drop the link below if you guys are interested. So again, those are my 5 tips that I found useful in shooting with my S22 Ultra camera. Again, I don't claim to be a photography expert. I'm a regular guy trying to get the most out of my smartphone camera. Pass along some of those tips to you guys. If you're interested in the stuff I talked about, the links will be in the description. You can join the giveaway as well. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon for future videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.